All right, you guys, welcome back to the show, the Cerebral Palsy and Fitness podcast. I'm here with a good friend of mine, humanitarian, the pretty voice of professional wrestling, Sophia Vee. Back,
What is
Sophia.
Hi, how are you, David?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been I'd say like a year and a half or
Mhm.
so since we've seen each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen that you've been doing a lot of Twitch streaming, and you're still working with humanitarianism, and I think you were also going to dabble into pro wrestling at some point yourself.
No, that I always say that. I wish I could. It's kind of like a fantasy of mine.
That's kind of like a dream of yours. Has
Yeah,
it been a dream
basically.
since you were little?
Yeah, definitely.
If you could pick a wrestler, past and current, and you want to compare yourself to, who would that be?
Compare myself to, oh my God,
Like,
Bianca.
who do you feel you relate to the most?
Maybe Sasha Banks.
So you like to be like the Flash, very hip, going out there, being
Yeah.
like, I'm a boss, like, I
Yeah,
got this.
exactly.
I do my own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you do your own thing, so you are self-employed. That's pretty cool, being
Yeah.
your own boss, being flexible, everything. So that's pretty awesome.
Hmm.
I know outside of the stream, we were just talking about a little bit about how I mentioned lingual, and he said to venture into like prisons and things like that. Is it something that you still kind of look into, still working with humanitarianism and still hoping? I know you posted a link trying to help the people of Gaza right now, as you're going through a tremendous amount of turmoil right now, the country, as we know it, and it's awful. What are some things that you're currently doing right now to be an activist or get out there?
Well, I donated some of my own money to the humanitarian causes in Palestine. Afghanistan is so my friend works for a orphanage in Kabul in Afghanistan. So I try to help her when I can and like send what I can when I can. It's an orphanage for girls in Kabul, which I think is the capital city. And then also they had a really bad earthquake about a month ago. And everyone's forgotten about Afghanistan, which is quite sad. So I try to
Yeah.
help them as well when I can. And then also, quite recently, I helped sponsor an event in Tanzania for an orphanage. They did like a sports day for orphanages, and one particular orphanage, they did like a soccer tournament. So they did a girls one and a boys one, and they actually hired a like a football soccer pitch, and like soccer kits and soccer shoes, and actually put on a really cool tournament for these kids to bring them like some fun, because a lot of people they donate to orphanages, and we provide like food and shelter and stuff, but it's also good to like provide experiences, like fun experiences. So putting on the sports day was really, I mean, I wasn't there, but I said, like,
Right.
helped facilitate it. And it's really cool to see that, that's something I actually wanted to do for a long time, because I'd seen it been done in Syria. Like there's an organization, they do a lot of
Right.
events. They hire like bouncy castles and just like different things,
That's
trampolines, and
awesome.
take it to the orphanage, so the kids get to actually have some fun and do something different.
Would you ever like consider doing like a mission trip where you go over
Yeah,
there
100%.
and be hands-on and help out?
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
want to so
I can see you
bad.
doing that.
Honestly, I want to. There's so many different organizations that do different like right now, obviously the cause in Palestine, but a lot of the refugees are being moved into Jordan, right? And there is a organization that is looking for volunteers to go to Jordan. So yeah, or Afghanistan. I really want to go to Afghanistan. It is such a beautiful country from what I see, like pictures and stuff. It is so beautiful. And then obviously Africa. I'm from Africa, so fundamentally, like my heart is in Africa, and I always want to liberate and help my people. And so definitely would love to do some stuff in Africa as well. I mean, even last year I did. I forgot to mention, like I fundraised and for schools in Cameroon and managed to fundraise enough to put 3,000 children into school. Um, yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, just trying to find different things to do. Like now, a project that I want to work on is clean water, like water wells in Tanzania. So that is something that I'm looking into doing myself. Like this will be my own project, not like fundraising for an organization or something already established. Something that I want to do, like my own initiative.
All right, so that's you've done quite a lot, and you should be definitely proud of yourself. And I
Yeah,
feel like it's book worthy. Like you can write a book all about your experiences, like just doing
yeah,
this. Um,
definitely.
for you, since it's within your heart, I feel like for some reason, if you dabble like into, like you mentioned, like you're very into like professional wrestling. Have you ever reached out to any like people in the wrestling community, like people that are well known, and let them know about what's going on with this, and see if they can kind of align themselves with you in your cause?
Not yet, but that's something I should do. I remember when I was fundraising for Cameroon, though. Athena, who's at Ring of Honor, she retweeted my fundraiser link. So that was really cool. That's probably the closest closest to getting a wrestler kind of on board for now, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, you've always been so out there, and you've always had such a big heart with everything you do. Um, and for you, what is the kind of where do you see yourself in? I would say 5 years from now.
5 years. I want to establish my own charity. So probably in 5 years, I want to establish a charity. Do you know? I also like would love. This is like a fantasy, like a dream. I don't know if I am capable of doing it, and there is so much restrictions and logistic issues. But like starting an independent wrestling company, but like in Africa, I think that would be
Yeah,
so sick. You know what I mean? And show like people there that something different. Like people are familiar with WWE, even in Africa. Like it's one of those things that everyone knows, no matter where in
yeah,
the world you are, you know what it is. But just starting some like homegrown wrestling promotion. I know that
right.
I saw actually the other day that there's a wrestling promotion in South Africa. And so yeah, that would be really cool. Or just like start like a wrestling, yeah, it's
That's
a
awesome.
wrestling promotion in Africa, and just have like only African athletes in it, like by Africans for Africans kind of thing. That'd be sick.
But it's like when the collegiate tour WWE, when they went to each college and try to recruit new superstars, and then you see almost out there just because he's a Nigerian giant, so you're thinking about
Yeah,
um, they have him being an ambassador. Why not bring, like you said, why not bring it to like Africa? You see tours in India where they have wrestlers that are of Indian descent represent India, and I feel like eventually it'll slowly get there.
definitely. I think Nigeria maybe is a bit more advanced. They have a lot of money in the country. So I think, Nigeria is probably a huge market for WWE to kind of tap into. Even South Africa, Egypt, these places, they have money. They do have like a presence in other sports like soccer. A lot of like top athletes in the world do come from Africa. Like some of the best soccer players come from Africa. So we need some wrestlers too.
So how do you feel about the landscape of wrestling right now?
Um, I think so. CM Punk's back at WWE. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really a CM Punk fan.
Yeah, that's gonna backfire.
I've never.
I'm just stating my opinion. It'll backfire on WWE. I mean, eventually he'll get frustrated because it's Rollins and I mean the locker room is great. Don't get me wrong right now, but we just have to wait and see how Punk integrates in that locker room.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so to me, I don't understand why they brought him back, but I do know that he has a huge like loyal fan base. These people, like he's like
Oh
Jesus to
yeah.
them. Really strange to me, you know. But it is like, he made them feel something 10 years ago when he was at WWE. When he returned on Survivor Series, you should have seen like Twitter. People were crying, saying he's home. Um,
Literally.
I never gave up. I always knew like he was gonna come back home. I never gave up. I know you guys gave up on him, but I did not give up on him. And they're like having complete like meltdowns, like crying like crazy. And I'm just like, wow, it's like Jesus returning from, it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, and it's one of those once in a lifetime things where, but eventually this whole coming and going, it'll get kind of old. So eventually they're like, oh, he just leaves. But with the kind of, like you said, with the kind of fan base he has, there's no way it'll go. It's like with The Rock, he leaves for a few months, a year, 2 years, comes back, huge pop, then he goes again, and he's just so well known that no matter how long he's gone, people are still gonna know
Mm, definitely. It'll be interesting to see CM Punk in another city. He came out in his hometown, Chicago, so obviously the pop was crazy. But I want to see him go somewhere else and see if the reactions are the same, or is it just the home crowd that love him?
him. Yeah, I heard. I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard that he and Rollins have like legit beef with each other. They don't like each other
Mm,
at all.
yeah, I've heard that too.
I, I wonder why and where did it
Yeah,
stem from?
yeah.
But I mean, he said if he respects him as an athlete, but as a person, he's like, nah, you know.
Yeah, apparently he's got really bad temper.
Oh yeah, he does. And uh, and eventually we're gonna have to see too what's up with Jungle Boy and my. For some reason, I have a hunch that he's gonna be the one underneath that mask, the devil mask. Have you seen him with
Yeah,
MJF right now?
yeah,
It can't be
yeah.
Adam Cole because he's hurt. Um,
Yeah.
I'm thinking also it could either A be Mustafa Ali, it could be
Oh my
Dolph
God, that
Ziggler.
would be pretty cool. I hope it's Mustafa because actually I really like Mustafa. And so I would love to see him actually wrestle. I think he was, compromised in WWE. They never used him to his capabilities. Apparently because I don't know if this is true, but apparently because he's Muslim and from Pakistan, the storyline that they had didn't really align with the people. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true, right? But like, yeah, that's so weird if that is true. But it's not because like Sami Zayn is Muslim as well. So it can't be like, oh, because he's Muslim, he did, but I've heard that, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the whole thing reminds me of Retribution. I
Yeah.
mean, they wore all black in the ring. Literally,
Yeah.
like I'm like that is Retribution right there. I just copied off of Retribution, and I hope that if you do have a promotion, don't hire somebody like Tony Khan to book your matches.
Yeah, no.
Because
No.
you want something fluid. And then
Yeah.
the craziest thing about that is, so I also read that apparently Brian Danielson, forgive me, apparently he was the one that got CM Punk out of the company, which I don't know
Yeah,
how weird that is. I mean, I think he confirmed it too, didn't he?
I know, but people are complaining why he did that because he's not authority. He's just talent, so he shouldn't have so much power. I mean, I don't know. If CM Punk is
It's like,
toxic and causing problems for everyone, then it kind of makes sense for somebody to say, okay, cool. And I don't know how true this is, but apparently CM Punk was threatening Tony Khan, like threatening to beat him up, and I don't know if
yeah,
that's true.
when he sat down in the middle of the stage and be like, "Oh, wow, was it this?"
Yeah. So I don't know. And
Oh,
apparently,
that's weird.
I don't know. So yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
makes sense to get rid of him. If somebody's just not a negative energy, why would you want that person around you? So let's see how he lands in WWE. It's gonna be interesting.
Now, do you feel like it was the right call for WWE to have Orton debut at War Games and then right after Punk comes out? Honestly, I didn't like that at all
No, I don't
because
think so.
it took away from Orton coming back.
It took away from the entire event. If you go and see Survivor Series, all people are talking about is CM Punk. They're not even talking about anything else. No matches and nothing, just CM Punk. People even forgot about the entire event, which is crazy, right? So, and it's sad, especially like a lot of the girls. Like this was Charlotte Flair's first War Games match. You know, there were some really cool spots from the chicks. Io Sky had a really cool where she got into the bin and she jumped off the top of the cage.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. She's hilarious.
Kyrie's back. So, you know.
Yes, she is. I'm kind of glad too. I mean, this sets up for Bailey being kicked out, which is going to happen eventually.
Yeah. Do you think Sasha Banks is coming back?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I feel like after she's done with New Japan and AEW, I feel like she'll be back because it's Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
She's close to Triple H. It's not Vince anymore.
Mm.
So it'll be easier for her to come back in, and she's not going to be as frustrated as she was before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because as you see, Triple H gives a lot of his talents creative freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
And so does
and he's not against women's wrestling too. You know, he's putting a lot of girls on TV, which is good.
Yeah.
Not like Tony Khan, right? Tony Khan only does one match females.
Yeah, and then there was one point where he did all male on one card and didn't have the women on, and people were like, what is up with this?
Yeah, it's not fair. Especially he's got quite a few women in the company. But apparently he doesn't enjoy women's wrestling.
About representation too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So if you could run your own, like you mentioned earlier, run your own wrestling company, what would that look like for you?
It would look like let me think. So something like OVW, you know. Do you what have you seen OVW?
Yeah, I have.
Have you watched the show on Netflix? Wrestling.
Something very small, very
yeah, intimate. And to go to different like parts of like let's say Tanzania and go to different cities, get people more familiar with the product, bring like also have girls in the ring, you know, representation, just kind of like inspire people, you know, just and have like some sick high flyer. I love high flyers. And just like some pretty like more like New Japan, like a lot of actually I love the New Japan type of wrestling because they do a lot of high flying, a lot of, you know, really theatrical like jumps and moonsaults, and I love that.
It's very acrobatic.
Yeah, exactly. I love so very acrobatic wrestling promotion would be awesome for me.
So keep it low profile. You want more women representation. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have women on all sides, you know, like refereeing, commentating, wrestling, behind the scenes.
Yeah, like an all women's promotion. Like Thunder Rosa has her own Mission Pro Wrestling, which is all women basically, which is really cool.
Yeah, and if you notice, it's still really hard for women to even get up in the wrestling business,
Very.
even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
There's not very many avenues. I mean, independently, and I know that WWE is probably the one that's really advanced when it comes to
Yeah.
having women's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But then everywhere else, it's like, oh, look, sideshow,
Yeah,
women.
exactly. The P break.
But it's amazing how far we've come though, from having it be in the P break to showcasing events.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And we've had, people like Rhea, Charlotte to help change the narrative because they actually can go really well. Zoe Starks is amazing too. And, we're just seeing
Oh
so
yeah,
much
she
cool.
used to be a babysitter while she was wrestling at one point.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That is commendable. What?
I said, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's it's crazy how many lengths are people willing to go to be able to really achieve their dream.
Absolutely. Because when you're starting out, you don't get paid. So it's really hard.
Yeah, it is really hard, and I appreciate those that are giving likes on the show. It's awesome, you guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to see everybody succeed, and I know you're doing your thing, and I mean, I would hope eventually you end up at some point in some form of capacity in the wrestling business. 'Cause I see you could also do announcing too. Is that something
Yeah.
you maybe
Maybe backstage interviews, like Caleb Braxton.
interviews? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the look. You have that look that you can go, hey, it's Sophia Vee, or
Yeah.
you could be the next Samantha Irvin, or
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Definitely.
she can announce. I mean, she can the way she's him, and she says it with her heart. Like she really,
Yeah, definitely. She's a good singer as well.
yeah. And so, like, I'm looking forward to this wrestling, the way that the wrestling industry is, and seeing you succeed in everything you do, especially with humanitarianism, and just keep being you. Don't change who you are, and always be kind. And of course, if like your podcast, I hope it picks up again very soon. Are there any like specific uh people you're looking forward to interviewing that you've reached out to?
I'm going to do a wrestling one though, but it's not like so much a podcast, but kind of like a weekly show on the channel. We Love Wrestling. There's a YouTube channel. I'll bring you on there, right? So they just bring people on to talk, to give their opinions of the landscape of wrestling right now, right? So that's because I love talking about wrestling. I don't know why, but I genuinely do. And I think it's really fun. And so that's something I'm going to start like probably, next week. And I'll definitely bring you on there and we can just chat about wrestling
Oh yeah.
and not just
Speaking
WWE. The thing is, I don't really watch any other shows apart from WWE. So
of,
I don't watch Impact. Not that I have anything against it. It's just I don't know. It's not convenient for me to watch it. New Japan isn't easy for me to access. I have to buy the app. I don't know if I don't know if it's worth it. Here where I am, you can't really watch New Japan. How about you? Do you watch New Japan?
I'll watch it if it's like in the US. Like if they air it, I'll just
Okay,
look for it online. Yeah. Yeah,
but
New Japan hasn't been the same since Kenny left. I mean, Osprey's about to lead to AEW, so they're losing some major talent.
exactly.
And Switchblade's in AEW, so
Yeah,
I mean, with
exactly.
the way the wrestling business is, you might as well start, building new talent
Yeah, for sure.
and bringing them in.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of their guys went to AEW, Aussie Empire. Will I don't know, Zack Sabre Jr. is at Ring of Honor now. Quite a few of them. So yeah,
I
they
mean,
definitely
who knows? And I know that Will Ospreay is going to be going to AEW because they kind of teased it when the new Bullet Club came out, and they took it. They had him, partake in a beatdown, and they took his titles and smashed both his titles. His UK championship and his US championship, and then he cut a promo saying that he would like a new belt for Wrestle Kingdom and try to bring the Intercontinental title back.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like Will Ospreay. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, I met him years ago.
No way. What promotion was he working at then?
He was in New Japan at the time, so he was still early in his career.
Okay, that's really cool.
And then I'm
So when
looking
is
forward to next year. What's up?
yeah, next year you're going to the wrestling. What is that? Sorry.
River City
What?
Wrestling Con. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm getting everything ready. So I'm looking forward to that and being able to interview some of the top names in the wrestling business. And I'm still trying to come up with a good set of questions. I get I think 5 minutes per wrestler I interview, so I gotta nail this like
Make
right
it
off the
good.
bat.
Yeah. Do you know
And
who?
one of the so far, Mick Foley will be there.
Wow, I'm so jealous.
Al Snow and X-Pac are the three
No
confirmed so
way.
far.
Wow, that's very cool.
I just want to interview Mick Foley. He's got a mind on him.
Yeah,
I've seen him,
absolutely.
especially ask him about the Hell in a Cell match with Taker. Like what
Yeah.
made him want to do that segment where he just went off the cage?
Yeah, it's
Or whose
crazy.
idea was it? And how he
Yeah.
thought at the time he was falling, like what his thoughts were at the moment.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing his answers.
And then another one I hope to see is Melina, because I want to meet her too.
Yeah.
And just because she seems like the one that I feel like I want to ask her if she would write a children's book, because I see her like as a children's book writer, but
Okay.
it's more of a book about wrestling for
Yeah.
girls to
Okay.
kind of empower them if they're
Yeah.
like they want to get into wrestling, but they're not sure if they're good enough
Yeah.
or they're capable enough.
Yeah. That's really
Because I know
cool.
she's in NWA now, I think, and doing a lot
Yeah.
of women's wrestling promotions.
Yeah. That is very cool.
And who would you interview if you had the chance to interview a superstar?
Mick Foley, absolutely. The Undertaker. I mean, she's not here anymore, but China, if she was still alive.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shame
Bray Wyatt,
how.
man. Sorry, mind my language, but like Bray Wyatt, like him passing away was such a surprise because we did like it's not like we weren't really aware that he was very sick. He kind of hid it from the
I don't
public,
know where. Yeah, it's true.
and it was just so sad
Yeah,
when he
like
passed away. It was very sad.
yeah, it was due to him not. I don't think he wore his defibrillator, so that's what happened.
Yeah,
His pacemaker, his chest pacemaker, so that's what happened. He didn't wear it, so that's what caused the issue ultimately.
yeah,
And I'm so glad that WWE went and took care of the family, and all the funds from his merchandise went to the family.
yeah, definitely.
And I hope JoJo ended up getting a job there because they said they were going to bring her back just because have her at least have some income coming in.
And his brother, Bo, and the other guy, I don't know, I forgot his name, the redhead beard guy.
Eric Rowan.
Yeah, I heard they had plans with them initially. So, although Bray's not here
I mean,
anymore,
they,
like
they can, they can bring back Uncle Howdy and bring back,
yeah,
the original
exactly.
label. I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on Triple H and what his vision is.
Mhm. Definitely.
Now, what I don't agree with is how the heck is LA Knight not champion yet? That
I
man's been
know.
sober for the last year and haven't done anything with him. Like, man, they're just
It's so
dropping
sad,
the
but
ball.
I hope he wins Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go. I'm actually trying to go there next year because I'll be in Tampa. So I'm
Oh,
trying to go at least
nice. Yeah,
to one Royal Rumble to see how it is, the atmosphere. I just want to go just to go.
that would be very cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome time for wrestling right now.
Very, definitely.
So so to recap all of this, do you feel that well this was a question that Duke and I kind of talked about
Hmm.
a few weeks ago. How do you feel about the accessibility in professional wrestling? Do you feel like the arenas are accessible for people with different disabilities? Do you feel like there still need to be more it needs to be more friendly as far as being able to find spots for people to enjoy the event better?
Yeah, I think more can be done. Absolutely.
Because trust me, I hate going to an event and sitting in a chair and not being able to see, my favorite wrestler come out and being
Yeah.
able to, being able to hear. Like I told Duke like 2, 3 years ago, I came 2 feet away, two
Yeah.
feet away from meeting Kenny Omega. That's how close I was. And the security
Wow.
guard goes, everybody out, we're not doing no yes again. I'm like, man, and I was like, I told my buddies, I should have just fallen out of the guardrail and just
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been clever. Definitely.
like maybe he could have seen me then and be like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to.
That would be quite cool.
But I mean, eventually, I get to meet him and get to have. I like to have a conversation with him, like an interview, just
Yeah,
like
for
with
sure.
Sammy Guevara,
Mhm.
who just had his beautiful daughter
Mhm.
with Ty.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen pictures online of his daughter,
Not
Luna.
yet. No.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She was born, I think,
Oh,
like a couple days ago.
nice.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a wonderful time having you on the show, and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to more of a conversation with you later on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And where can my listeners find you? Like any social media platforms? I know you're on Twitch.
So on Twitch, I'm just Sophia, Sophia. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter, on Vocal Mind Sophia on all three platforms.
Yes, and as you all know, she's a very wonderful human being with a very big heart. Um, that I've had the pleasure of getting to know and enjoy interviewing. And I hope eventually one of these years or one of these days we'll end up crossing paths and we'll all meet in
Yeah.
person. Whether it's Duke and I and everybody else, it'd be pretty cool. Maybe I can save up and go to England and come visit.
Yeah. Is
You can
Jude
show me
going?
around.
Yeah. Is Jude going to that event that you're going to be at?
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, he's gonna
Okay.
go. He'll be there.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
going to be
we'll
really
we'll
fun.
meet we'll meet up there and it'll have fun. It'll be fun. I'm definitely excited to being able to interview as many as I can and I'm like crossing my fingers. I'm like, if MJF somehow, some way shows convention, I'm gonna be like, I have to interview it. I have
Yeah.
to. Just because I'm like, please roast me, please, like roast me. Like I don't care what you say, just roast my camera.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
because he's good at roasting people.
Yeah, very good. That would be really
Yeah, like
fun.
or Adam Cole, is another one too.
Yeah. Adam Cole might
Yeah,
be there.
so
Doesn't he live in Florida?
he does. I think it's Panama City. I think they live in the area where the convention is.
Okay, so yeah, maybe Brit might be there.
Yeah, so I mean, we just have to see who else they announce next time. Because I hope
Yeah.
eventually they announce the whole list, and then we can go with that.
Do you know when they're gonna
Oh,
announce the list?
I don't know. I think they're doing them one by one, so it depends on when
Okay,
they post. That's when they
yeah,
announce it. Yeah, like I wish I could just post all of it already because I also like to meet the Hardys. You know, talk to the Hardy
absolutely.
Boys,
They'll
which
probably be there. I think they'll be there.
yeah,
The
they're
whole
being so
family.
under yeah, the whole family. The Hardys are being underutilized right now, so I hope things get better for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, even Matt said it on his podcast. He's like, I don't know what's going on with them, with me being underutilized, my brother, because I guess, I thought they would be winning the titles at least once,
Yeah,
anybody. But I guess with Jeff not doing so well, not
yeah,
feeling well not feeling well and everything else, I think it's time for them to just run right in the sunset and just enjoy life. Don't
exactly.
you've had a tremendous career, and there's no need for you to sacrifice more.
Mm-hmm. So true.
All right. Well, I hope if you guys enjoyed this episode, you're gonna find it on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, of course, here on Facebook and every other major podcasting outlet out there. And Sophia, thank you for being on the show as always. You've been amazing.
Thank you for having me, David. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely, and we'll have to catch up again soon.
For sure. Definitely.
All right, everybody, be safe and have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. All right, Sophia, peace. You're
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Take care of yourself.
You too.